The way is through. I've been avoiding doing bridge pose for years because of problems with my back, but I think the deep flexibility stuff I've been doing will work. So if you're seeing this video, this will be the first time I've tried a full bridge in a long, long time, and I'm not even sure I can get up because I don't really have the upper body strength. But let's see what happens. Ah, you can help me, Chesh? Okay. Well, actually, you know what? I'm gonna do this. What is stopping me? Arm strength or is that flexibility? Okay, that right there. Okay, jackknife blaster. That's what I need to know. Okay, so I'm gonna start working on bridge pose, and while I could do it on my head there, that's fine. I can't arch, and part of that right now is tight right here. So the pose for that, or a good pose for this, is jackknife blaster, which is what I'm gonna do right now. Pillow against the wall, move the mushroom. Now for this pose, it might be helpful to have a bench, which it just so happens I do. So here we go. This is for the foot that's against the wall. The foot that is against the wall is the foot that is going, or is the leg that's going to be stretched. So now, there's a couple things about this pose. Pardon me. The knee touches the wall, or in my case, the floorboard. You want to do that to protect your knee. This pose is not about how close your butt gets to the wall. What you want to try to do is allow yourself to relax and drop from your chest all the way down. And then the higher you get, the more focus it will come here. And then over time, you maybe go higher. And there you go. So I'm going to do this 5 minutes. This is asymmetrical, which means I'll be doing it twice. So 10 minutes. So right there, I've got a really nice stretch on the front of my right leg. In a real sense, I'm reverse aging my body. What I mean by that is your body adjusts to what you do. So for years, I traveled, I sat on airplanes, sat in cars, sat at desks. My body adjusted to getting really good at sitting on its butt all day long. So if I want to get back to a sort of a younger state of being, I can sort of slowly unwind years of training in one direction by moving in a different direction. And really, anytime I get stagnant, I remind myself that, I have to change something to actually get different results. And I know it's obvious, but sometimes it helps to actually say it out loud. Because if you've ever heard of rubber ducking, when you say something out loud, you're using a different part of your brain. So, in fact, right now, me talking about these poses is different than me thinking about these poses, both negatively and positive, both negatively and positively. And now I will continue into the pose. And now my right arm is getting a touch tired. I'm going to try to maintain the stretch. So first of all, I get into a balance. There we go. There we go. Oh, okay, that was pretty good. So I made a mistake getting into that pose. I had my right leg hooked back way too quickly. Let's see, how does that feel? Okay, now next up, left leg asymmetrical, same thing, 5 minutes. So I really want to start this slowly. I'm going to start right now. My toes are pointing towards the wall, and I'm touching both my toes against the wall. So now I'm going to, holding with both hands, I'm going to kick back slowly, my knee, slide it up, slide my foot up the wall, protection. There we go. And then I'm going to keep going until my knee touches the wall. And I'm going to lift up and start the timer. Now, if you sit all day long, like I have, when I started this pose, I couldn't get my leg up. Couldn't do this, not even close. So, and if I recall correctly, I could do the bridge pose, 2002 and 2003. And that's when I really started heavily traveling. Of course, I've already got a theory. I can find all the experiences in my life that perfectly match and justify that theory. It doesn't really matter why. What matters is what is. And what is when I just tried to do the bridge pose, I could not get these to relax at all. So, thighs, a little bit of work. That's pretty good, but you know what? I fucked that up just a little bit further. And I no, there. A little too much fidgeting, but Yeah, that's worth it. That's pretty good right there. Ah, that's it, right there. I've got the whole plane. So the whole front there is just getting woken up. Now, I wonder. So don't do what I'm about to do. And I'm half serious, half joking. So I normally would say yin after yang, and the poses that I'm doing here are yin. This is definitely yin, deep flexibility stretching. These muscles are not in any condition to be used. But for the bridge pose, I don't use these muscles. In fact, rather the opposite. These muscles were stopping me, I believe. So I'm going to see if there's any difference now. Though I have tired my arms a little bit. Here, let me pet the kitty for just a second. I'll skip ahead when I'm done petting the cat. Though if you want to see the longer video, you'll see it. Is that right? Is that right? Too much? Sorry about that. So let me actually just a second. So it turns out Now I'm doing another pose. So there's a pose called pins and needles, and I can pet the kitty and be in a pose at the same time. And what I've done is I'm only in the pins part, the feet part. There's a hand part actually. So I've got my toes curled under. Are you in the way, kitty? I think you are. That's fine. There you go. Toes curled under, and I sit back like that. There we go. And so now I'm getting a nice stretch in the arches of my feet, my toes. If you do this for 3 or 4 or 5 minutes, you will inevitably make your feet feel a lot better if they're tight. However, if you've got knots in your feet, if you hold tension in your feet, you're going to hate this pose a whole bunch. Now, since I'm going to take back my hands, buddy, okay? Yeah, I'll pet you some more later on. Other part of this pose is a shoulder pose. So pair of hands behind the back. I can kind of do this if I work on it. There we go. No wonder. Can I go a little higher? Whew, okay. It feels high, but I'll bet you when I look at this video, it's not very high at all. Turn around there. I'm not sure what that looks like, but so this is pins and needles. It's a brutal pose. But ooh, see, and having the kitty having him push my body like that actually kind of hurts. Just it doesn't really hurt, but it's like, oh, if I were another minute into this pose, that could have been really painful. Anyway, this is not my planned pose. I don't want to do this pose. My feet are fine right now. All right. I've been in it long enough. So when you come out of this pose, hands down, take the weight off your toes first. Lift your feet. Don't do anything with your toes. Just lift your feet. And then if you can, point your feet like so, plantar flexion, dorsiflexion, plantar flexion, and then just set your toes down. If you can't sit back, that's fine. Just, there you go. Wiggle your toes on the ground. If you can sit back, that's good too. Okay, now this, another good stretch. Let me think. If I do that, still again, I'm going to do another stretch before I try bridge. Let me think, do I want to do this or do I want to do saddle? Saddle. Okay, saddle pose. How's this? Trying to get a good stretch here. Actually, I want my feet just a touch further apart so my toes don't crunch into each other. Where you at, kitty? Oh, there you are. Okay. Oh, nice pop in my hip there. Man, I'm not really getting much. I guess Jackknife Blaster did that well enough. All right. So, right back to you. Now, again, do not do this. What I'm doing is I'm going to go into bridge pose. I consider bridge pose definitely to be a yang pose. It's just a power. It's not something you're going to be resting in. So you normally, after doing a stretch, you wouldn't want to use these muscles, but I'm not going to use these muscles to get into this pose, right? So, okay, so here we go. Okay, kitty, pardon me for a second. Please stop. Yeah, yeah. Okay, okay. Thank you. No more. Just for a bit. Okay. Okay, now let me think. Strength. Let me do that again. All right, well, I can't do bridge very well, but the way you get different results is you do something different. And the best way to do something different is to actually do something that you weren't doing, like this. Okay, nope, 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 nope. Okay. So I'm gonna get out of my hip, out of my mid back there. We're pushing. Yep. Gonna do this a few more times and then get back to stretching. I can do one more up and then I'm gonna maybe do one on my head. No, that's okay. All right. Well, I'll tell you what. I'll do a little work on that. Do baby pose. Sleep it. Happy baby. At this point, this is kind of frog. Oh no, I'm getting my hamstrings a little bit on the hip flexors. That's different enough, I suppose. Now both my hip flexors are getting hit. I don't know how long that was, but oof, it felt pretty good. What was that? Oh, well, it's flamenco, but I really don't want to do flamenco. That enough, you think? Let's see what's bad. All right. Yeah, that's enough, isn't it? Okay. I'm gonna do one more pose when I go to bed. Actually, in bed, I'll put my feet together, let my knees flail out, and the weight of the blanket will push my knees down a little bit, and I'll put a timer on for 5 minutes, and then I'll go to sleep. But first, I must pet Mr. Chef. Let's see. Since I'm here, okay.